We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Changeling. We're here with almost everyone here just to talk about how my girl still wants answers to her questions. No offense, he just shrugs slightly. Still at this point, I think it would be smart if you stayed as far away from anything fair related as possible. She can't just stay away like that. It's in her blood now, you know. They may not leave her alone. She can't close her eyes to that. We both looked up at him with surprise when he broke in suddenly. He seemed annoyed. Ellie frowned. She's still partly human, Ewan. I hope you realize that. She's not one of you. If she can walk away from this now, I think she should. One of us. What's that supposed to mean? It means she's not like you. She's not Fae, not frilly. She never has been. Are you saying things are easy for me just because I get to claim I'm Fae? I'm not saying that at all. What's even wrong with you right now? If anything, you should know how hard things can get for her. If she keeps poking into things, she could capture more negative attention from... She's already captured their attention. That isn't going to change. I can help her through it though. I've been there, and you're telling her to stay away from me like I'm dangerous. Wait, you want me to stay away from Ewan? Oh my god, I'm not telling her to stay away from you. No one said that. Sounds to me like that's exactly what you're saying. But she said herself she's not normal anymore. So why should she pretend to be? That's more dangerous than acknowledging she is, at least in part, one of us. I don't agree with that. A bigger part of her is... him. I stopped and looked my way. Isn't it my decision how far away I should stay away? How far away I stay from this? It is your decision. But you know, the rest of us have been there too, not just Ewan, and I can promise that some of us would definitely have kept our distance if we had the choice. I'm telling you, there is no choice here. She can't just stick her head in the sand now that the Changeling contract is broken. And she said she still has questions. Which doesn't mean it's smart to go looking for them. Why? Because all the big bad fairies in town might do horrible things to her? They already have, haven't they? Not all of us. Enough already. What do you mean, not all of us? They both started when I finally raised my voice. You guys don't get to decide this for me. If I want answers, I'll find them. And if I want to hide in a blanket fort and pretend none of this happened, I'll do that too. Stop arguing about me like I'm not even here. You know what? Do whatever you want. I'm out of here. Ewan, why are you getting salty at me? I stared after him as he stormed out the courtyard through the cafe. What the heck was that about? I have no idea. That had kind of come completely out of nowhere. I'll go after him, see what's bugging him. Same. Hi, Elliot. The two of them left in after I beat Trace and followed, waving slightly as he passed through the door into the cafe. Elliot just sighed, shooting Shelly a frustrated look. I guess he's upset because he thought he finally found someone to commiserate with, and now he feels he's losing it. Commiserate over how irritating fairies are. I mean, I could still do that. Look, to be totally honest, now that it's just us three, you really should consider that it might be dangerous to spend time with him. With Ewan. Why? Whether he likes it or not, he's much more connected to the Fae than you are. Given who his dad is, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep an eye on him. Well, Logan had said as much anyway, and he'd warned me too, though he didn't say anything about me staying away from them, as if that would help. It didn't seem more like a blanket warning. Didn't. Actually, I have seen a few of them popping in and out of the shop, Fae I mean, when they're not being careful. Look, Logan also indicated the fact he was the one helping me would catch attention. Well, him and Brenna, even though I thought he'd severe ties with them all. I don't think you can really ever severe ties with fairies. Then what's the point of me avoiding Ewan? Even Logan just warned me to be careful. He didn't act like I should pretend none of it happened though. Michiko, the difference between you and them is that you're human. Excuse me. The fact Logan wanted to erase your memory of the ritual shows you that they don't really consider you one of them. Which means that unlike Ewan, you might be able to walk away from this, and if you can, it will be for the best, because you've been touched by the Fae and you know a lot about them. If it looks like you're still clinging on to the fairy in any way, it could get you wrapped up in their affairs again. Logan and Brenna helped you knowing it might backlash onto them, but if you turn your back on it completely, they might forget about you. So I should just let them deal with the consequences and try to get on with my own life? That's what she was saying. I don't like the idea of avoiding Ewan. That doesn't seem right. They helped me. How can I just turn my back on that? thinking about Spencer then. The further into that side you go, the further you'll move away from him. But if you try to regain as much normalcy as possible, it might open a door to fixing things with him. Normalcy? Allie, you keep saying I'm a human and all, but I'm not. Not anymore. There's no way I can just pretend none of this is real. I know, it's about balance. You can be on this side of things without getting completely engulfed in Fae business. Was it even possible to balance this? The others seemed to do it, I guess, but the others didn't have Spencer, and the others weren't at least partially Fae. I wasn't sure I could mend things with him. Walk away from everything Fairy, including Ewan, and balance anything. I don't want to leave Ewan. Anyway, I don't want to freak you out, but yeah, if you start a sentence with that, I'm going to instantly be freaked out. I was thinking it might be ways for us to teach you some defensive magic. Probably not today, but sometime soon. Definitely before Samhain. What before then? Well, we don't know how ticked off they are about your contract being broken. If there's a time for the Fae to try anything in regards to that, it's going to be Samhain. Okay, that freaks me out. Look, we'll take precautions. It's just that the Fae naturally gain a lot of power that night, so it'll be good to be prepared. The one mixture I gave you won't be enough to protect your entire house, but maybe we can look into spreading some other fairy beans around, just to be safe. That's probably a good idea. We can spread some salt around the perimeter, maybe put some iron objects to ward them off. Now that you don't have one in your head anymore, it'll probably be a lot easier to resist that call to go wandering. Yeah, I still have that bell too that Ewan gave me. And we'll find time for a short magic lesson. Just something to teach you some fairy spells. Just in case. This all seems worrying. Well, we could be overreacting. I hope we're overreacting, but just in case. It never hurts to be cautious. We'll get the things together and work out a time to meet. Can't I help? Can't I help? I mean, with the whole getting things together, I can't help but feel everyone keeps helping me, doing things for me. We don't mind helping you with this stuff. I know, but I feel a little like I'm just getting swept along in all this without doing much. I struggle to find the right words to explain. It feels a bit like things are just happening to me, and I don't have much control over it. I guess it would be nice to feel like I'm actually doing something, not just standing around waiting for others to help me. I want to help with this. It's my life, my problem. I should help. Allie smiled slightly. I understand. You have a fair amount of research under your belt. Compile anything you have about fairy beans and protections, and make that your focus. If there's anything you can get on your own or do on your own, do it. And we'll gather anything you don't have access to, because I'm betting you don't have a lot of iron horseshoes and four-leaf clover sitting around your house. That is true. She reached over and took my hand, giving it a careful squeeze. It may not be over yet, but the situation is a lot better now than it was a week ago. I cannot believe all this has only been happening for a goddamn week. And that's something to be grateful for. There's one other thing. What's that? Spencer. The brother, right? Is everything okay with him? Well, I mean, he's been his normal cranky, snooping self, but if you're worried about Spencer in the club, I don't think there's a need. Now that we know you're a changeling and not actually Fae, that means there's virtually no chance at all that Spencer is a cryptic. We can probably just leave him alone now. That's true, but that wasn't what I was going to talk about. Spencer's been real tired lately. Like, he's been out and about. What then? It's his eye injury. It seems more and more likely that something relates to fairies, and I just want to try to find a way to fix it if we can. Or I can. He may hate me, but in the end, that incident was my fault, and I don't like the idea of just ignoring it. That's one thing I refuse to leave alone. I understand. We can make that our focus after Samhain, okay? I'll help you look into it. Me too. Thanks. In the end, if we could at least do that much for him, I'd be satisfied, or at least I'd try to be. After that, Allie and Shirley had walked me to my car, and I'd gone back home alone. I was still feeling a bit dazed by it all, and worried about Ewan. He never came back, and I wasn't sure what that meant. I hope he wasn't mad at me. I could text him. You had a phone. I was still torn over what Allie had said about staying away from fairies. I didn't like that idea at all. He wasn't just some fairy. He was a friend. Shit! That's not the word I wanted. At the very least. And I think he'd been hurt by the idea of them telling me to stay away. Maybe I should try to text Ewan, just to see how he was doing. Maybe reiterate my gratitude. But I didn't reach for my phone. I wasn't really feeling up to a conversation. Are you shitting me? Actually, I've been feeling kind of gross ever since I arrived home. I didn't know if it was all the stress catching up to me or what. So I was flopped on my bed with my journal nearby, trying to flip through all my notes on fairy paints. I was struggling to focus, though. I stared down at the scrawled coat covering the pages and traced my fingers over the swirls, mine in Spencer's language. I sighed, wishing the times we'd been close could come back. With me stuck as some kind of fairy hybrid, and Spencer just a normal human with every right to be suspicious of me and my weird school club. Those times might never come again. It was frustrating because there had been a time we both had seen and experienced weird things, a time I frowned and sat up, mulling that over. There had been a time we shared this stuff, a time we both seen these kinds of things. They had said it wasn't terribly uncommon for children to see fae, but Ewan also said it was strange for a 12-year-old to still be able to see them. If we assumed that 5 years ago Spencer saw something fae related and that's why his sight was stolen, then it would mean it wasn't some chance sighting. It would mean he retained his childhood ability to see fae. What if the only reason he couldn't see them now was because his ability to see them was damaged when the sight in this right eye was stolen? If I had never become a changeling, if none of that had happened 5 years ago, would Spencer and I still be able to see fairies? Would we still have that kind of supernatural sight? If that was the case, then we really were never normal to begin with. Ugh. I flopped back on the bed. Thinking about it made my head hurt. There was no way to know what might have been, only what had been. Still, Allie might want me to try to walk away from all this, but she might be forgetting that her connections to the Fae went deeper than just this changing situation. Even Shelley said that could be the case. We saw them as children. I was targeted by them back then. We had definitely been tangled with them for a long, long time. Walking away from it all might not be as easy as Allie hoped. Chapter 7, Hangover. Excuse me, is someone getting drunk? Is someone getting litty titty out here? October 25th. I wasn't sure what woke me up. Oh, wait, has Spencer been drinking? Seems more like Ewan would be drinking. I've been dreaming, running, being chased by something. There was singing, reverberating through my head and the sound of dripping water. The taste of moss in my mouth, and then I was toppling into space and awoke with a start, in my own bed, thankfully. It was a relief after everything else that had been happening lately, but then I lay there for a long moment, staring at the ceiling as I tried to work out whether the dream woke me up or if I heard something in real life. My head felt weird, heavy, foggy, and my throat was tight, sore, a cold. After all that, I ended up with a stupid cold. Ugh. I lay there face down on my pillow before I remembered something had woken me up and maybe I should check it out. I sat up in bed carefully, listening, trying to pick up any situation. It might have just been someone getting water or something. Wait, no, there it was again. That sounded like someone whimpering. It's coming from Spencer's room. I stumbled out of bed, my head throbbing as soon as I was upright. Ugh, headache of doom. Half stumbling my way to the bathroom, I put a hand to my head as if I'd somehow soothe away the pain by touching it. Spencer had unlocked his side of the bathroom, so I eased the door open and peered inside his room. Oh god, that poster scares me all the time. I always think it's like a figure just standing there. It was too dark to see well, but I could just make out Spencer curled up in bed. He seemed to be fast asleep, no whimpering or any other weird noises. Maybe I imagined it. I didn't think so, but whatever it was, it had stopped. I turned to leave when I heard it again. He twisted in the sheets, and the light filtering in from outside, I saw his expression shift as if he was experiencing something unpleasant. Nightmare. I hesitated. If Spencer woke up and found me in his room, he'd probably freak out. At best, he'd be mad. At worst, he'd wake up Mom and Dad with a complete meltdown. But no, I have to get... He curled up tighter beneath the blankets, clearly having some terrible dream. I knew about those all too well, and I decided I couldn't leave him alone. I walked softly to his bed and sat on the edge. Spencer? I rested a hand on his shoulder. He was shaking in his sleep. Spencer, it's okay. You're having a bad dream. Spencer made another soft, sad noise. No. Shh. No, please. Please let me go. I'm sorry. Michiko. Yes? I started at first thinking maybe he'd woken up, but no. He's dreaming about me. Spencer? Spencer, it's okay. I'm here. It's Michiko. Spencer quieted down and his eyes cracked open. He was looking up at me, expression so foggy with sleep. Michiko? Yes, it's me. I'm back. I'm okay. Spencer's eyes went wide and fearful. No. If you're here, then they'll come back. Spencer, you're dreaming. Probably the one with the penguins. It's okay. It's just a dream. No, they're here. They're here. She let them in. Who? I got a bell. Just wait, do I have a physical bell? I used to have a physical bell. Wait, I'm not lying to you guys. Oh, dude, I think I put it away. I had a bell that was like a tulip fairy. It was a flower shape, and it rang. Shit, that would have been nice to have right now, but I think I packed it away. Damn it! I had one job. I accidentally reached out, smoothing his hair. He was definitely still mostly asleep. He'd had night terrors before, for a few years when we were about 7 or 8. Maybe they were back. Back then, he cried inconsolably until I crawled into bed with him. But that was a long time ago. Now he just clutched his face, writhing beneath the sheets, and then as suddenly as he started, Spencer fell still and silent. Maybe all the stress from moving back had finally caught up to him, and he didn't wake up when I touched him this time. It seemed to have completely fallen back into deep sleep, and I suddenly remember how fragile he was underneath all that anger. He'd always been emotional, easily upset, and clingy. He'd follow me around so much when we were kids. I guess it was nice to know that when he was half asleep, he could still rely on me a little. I gently rearranged the blankets and pillows, tugging him back into bed properly. He'd had night terrors after the incident 5 years ago, too. For a little while, it seemed like stress was always the catalyst. Though if that was true, what was the catalyst when they started out for the first time? Shit, I'm over time. This is where we're gonna stop, though. Spencer's actually a soft boy when he's right here. But maybe the fairies are gonna try to come and steal me, and this is why the storyline's a bit different. Like her turning herself back into between Fae and human is quicker than the other routes. The other routes, it was near the end and then we ended it. But now we're not even halfway. I think we're now finally halfway there. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.